Hello, everybody. Welcome to Flutter Forward presented by JDSC Score. I hope you guys are having a good time in your holidays. So we'll move ahead with we have the series of what we have to present to you. And our facilitators are here. Mayuk is taking the class today. Then we have Mohit and Netra. Hi, guys. And on board to you guys. Take it over and have fun.
Can everyone hear me?
Yep, you're audible.
Thanks. So, hello everyone. This is Mayuk Jana. I'm a second year undergrad here at BITS Goa, and I will be taking your today's session. So, yeah, let's just hop into the session as well. Yes. Or we should just wait for another 2 minutes for others to join. Okay. So make sure to have all of you got the link. I'm again sharing the link with you in the chat box. So just go and just share the link with anyone and everyone you want. Mom, dad, family members, anyone. So yeah. So just confirm everyone, can you see the screen that I've just shared? Just
Yes.
put a hands up or something like that. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So let us just hop into the thing right now. Oh, yes. Yeah. So firstly, how many of you know? Okay, just this is since it's a YouTube session, I'm keeping it to myself. So as you all know, Google encompasses clubs, student clubs. It's around there are more than 200 clubs which is affiliated to Google in India, and yeah. So what we do is whenever there's a new tech that is coming along, like Firebase, Flutter, or anything like Kotlin or Angular or anything, any such things. So we get the information from Google, we learn that stuff, and we just share that information with all of you. So yeah, let's carry forward. This is our first session for today, where I will be introducing you to Flutter. For all those who joined now, let me tell you, I'm Mayuk Jana. I'm a second year undergrad student here at BITS Goa campus, and I will be your facilitator for today's class. Yeah, let's carry on with the first slide. Yeah. So what is Flutter? When when you have joined this session, you might have many of you might have not been like very clear about what is Flutter. Is that even a existing word? It is not a word even. What is Flutter? Why? Well, why would someone name something like Flutter? So thing is, Flutter. Many of you may have thought that Flutter is a programming language, but it's not. Flutter is not a programming language. It's actually an API, which is also called an application programming interfaces, and we'll come along that a little later. So just get into the definition of Flutter. Flutter is an open source UI software development kit. It is developed by Google. It is used to develop cross-platform applications for Android. Now, what is the meaning of the word cross-platform? The thing is, earlier we used to develop apps, right? We used to develop it natively. So how do you develop apps natively? The thing is, we used to develop separate apps for separate code base. There was a separate code base, for Android and a separate code base for iOS. So you might have heard of Objective-C, Swift. That is the programming languages which are used for iOS, not for Android users. And since number of Android users are much more than Apple users, but still, Apple users cannot be left that there will be an app who will give these facilities only in Flutter and not in only in Android, not in uh, iOS. So, what is Flutter? We will write code only once, right? And it will work on both Android and iOS, as well as Linux, macOS, Windows. The thing is, earlier we used to develop Flutter when Flutter was there. Earlier, there was only, we used to use it when it was first launched. The first version of Flutter, when it was launched, it was only for making apps. Now you will you will just get shocked to hear this, that we can make web apps even with Flutter. So that's a different story. Currently, we are making only apps in this session. We will not make apps. We will learn the initials, how to start with Flutter. So I will tell everyone here, follow all who are watching, that just go on to flutter.dev and just install the Flutter SDK so that you can get started. For this session, you will not require Flutter. Let me tell you. For this session, just enjoy the session for the time being. So yeah, let's go to. Can you just imagine that you have seen the slide and you have just, can you see there is a picture there? So sorry, yeah, there's a picture there. So what's the picture? Can anyone just tell me in the chat what is the other thing in the picture apart from Flutter? What is that thing called? Yeah, it's not React, it's React Native. Okay. Yeah. What is the function of React Native? React Native का function same ही है. Its function is to develop cross-platform applications. Now you will ask me, then bhaiya, why I will use Flutter? I will use React Native. There's a very good question, that why you will use Flutter and not React Native, right? So let's go to the second slide. Yeah. So Flutter. So there are many advantages of Flutter, and my most favorite advantage is something called hot reload. What is hot reload? Hot reload is something that whenever you run an app, it is shown in the emulator in a phone in anything which you, just to see that whether the changes have come or not. Maybe see you have changed the color of the application bar, and you have changed it from red to say blue, right? You have changed it from red to blue. Now, if you want to run it like what you used to do earlier, we used to run the entire code, and then after 4 to 5 minutes, it will show me, red to blue ho gaya. But before, right? That is the thing. So the function of hot reload is, when we do this hot reload thing, we press that hot reload. Within seconds, within 5 to 10 seconds, entire things get reloaded, and we get from our app bar color changes from red to blue, as said. So this is a very high advantage for developers, because continuously you are changing something, then you are not liking the font, you are not liking the font of the text, you are changing it from Montessori to anything else, and the processing time is minimized, right? So Flutter supports all operating systems, as I have always said. Flutter provides a productive layout system. Flutter helps to build concise software apps. Flutter offers very high performance rather than its competitive. Flutter assists in app development and in release automation as well, as I said. So the thing is, Flutter has still if you ask me whether I prefer Flutter or React Native, I will prefer Flutter, obviously. But if you are coming, I have learned web development as well. So if you are coming from a web development background, so React Native is built on the framework of JavaScript. So if you JavaScript well, you can go with React Native. So it's No, I cannot see it. Can you whether I'm stuck or not?
Yeah, you're audible now. You were stuck for a little bit before. Yeah. You're audible.
Hello? Audible?
We can hear you.
Yes, bro, you can say you're audible.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Just we check. There's a lag. Okay. Hello. Yeah. Okay. So there are many more such advantages of Flutter, and you can just check it on. If you just move ahead, you go to flutter.dev, you can just check it on what are the advantages of Flutter, and you'll just get fascinated by it. So let's go to the next. The most important part that these are the apps which are made on Flutter, and you might not know even you might not know it. So Google AdSense, Alibaba, Dream11, as well as Google Pay. And if you want to check more such apps like BMW, like there's an app on BMW. So if you want to check that, you just go to flutter.dev/showcase and just you can just check it out, right? Okay. So now just give me a few moments, which is before I can explain this, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's carry on. Yeah. Let's go to something known as paint. The screen right. Sharing this. So it's still not come. Wait for a few minutes till the window part comes. Uh,
While Smayo connects his graphic tablet, let me just tell you guys more about what we do at GDSC. So we're more of a collective group of people who work on amazing projects in tech and design and a lot of lateral thinking. And we look forward to having a lot more sessions like this as we go along the year. And we hope you'll join to all of them. So yeah, go ahead and have fun with this.
okay. So can anyone confirm whether you can see the paint screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So yeah. So the main portion of Flutter is just let us think of this as an our mobile screen, right? This is our mobile screen. This is our mobile screen, right? Now the thing is, okay. So this is our mobile screen, and Flutter is built on widgets. Now, just like you have a family tree, you are the son or a daughter of your mother and father, and your mother is the daughter of someone else. I don't know. Yeah. So that's the thing. So even our apps in Flutter are built on building blocks, which are widgets. So widgets are something like if I can show you, my phone is there. I cannot show you. But if you have a phone like this, you might have, there are some apps here, right? And you have a Google bar for, these are the Google bar where you can just click on and search. These are called widgets, right? These are widgets. So just let me show you that what happens in our general Flutter app. So there is something known as safe area. Let me tell you first that this is known as safe area because this is the safe area of a mobile screen where something is visible. If I try to code something like print hello world, let's say if I print hello world and without the safe area, hello world will be print like this on the margins of the app, of the screen, right? But we don't want that. We don't want that. What we want is we want that the word hello world should be clearly visible to us. So what we do, we use something known as this safe area. Safe area, right? So after this, let me show you this. Inside the safe area, what you have is the body of the app, which is known as scaffold. This is the body of the app, which is called scaffold. Right? Now let's say inside scaffold, you have something called an app bar, which will come at the top. This is also an app bar widget. That is also a scaffold widget, right? This is an app bar. And within that app bar, I want something called a container, let's say. Container. This is a container widget. And inside that container, let's say I want two things, right? One thing I want a row, and another thing I want a text. So this becomes the row, and this becomes the text, right? There should be a text or anything, something like that. Inside the row, I want something known as another text, and I want an image as well. So the row gets divided like this. You get a text here and an image here. So just to clarify, so first we have the material app, which is the body, the main app. Inside that app, we have something called scaffold, right? Which is the body of the app. Inside the safe area, to be precise. Inside scaffold, we have something known as the container and the app bar. So inside the container also, we have two things. One, okay, and a text. Inside the row also, we have a text and an image. So something it will look like this after everything. So yeah, so it will look something like this. There is an scaffold, there is an app bar at the top, and that beneath that we have a container. So the scaffold, the children of scaffold is app bar and container. Inside the container, we have the column widget. Inside the column, we have a row and a text. Inside the row widget, we have another text and an image or an icon, right? That's the thing. That's the. Let me disconnect this. Otherwise, I will have a problem. Yeah. So let's move along. The next slide. So this is this. This is the actual thing which happens inside the app, right? It looks like this, something like this. Scaffold. Inside the scaffold, there's an app bar. App bar contains a text which says my home page. Inside the body, then the body comes with a center. It has a children and column which has a text. The column which has a text and a button as well that we will be told later, right? So yeah. So let's move on. This is the timeline for your start. the whole Dart programming language we taught today, right, in this 1 hour. So just be along with me. There is nothing. It's a fun event. So yeah. So okay, let's just hop into the main thing. Flutter is not a programming language. Once again, Flutter is an UI toolkit, or you can call it an API as well. Flutter is based on a programming language which is known as Dart. That today you will learn the entire Dart programming language in the 1 hour. So bear with me. So yeah, let's move along. What is Dart? So the thing is, Flutter allows the development of iOS and Android apps which uses Dart as the programming language. Dart is an open source client-side programming language. It is easy to learn, stable, and it's high performance applications. Okay. So to just play with Dart, you can just go along to Dartpad, dartpad.dev, and you can just there will be a default code there. And if you want to practice Dart, you can just go there. There's nothing to download, nothing else. You can just go there and enjoy this. Right? It's excellent tool, very useful. So yeah, let's just hop into the main thing, that is step by step Dart. Right? So first we'll learn about print, how to print to the console, then variables, data types, string interpolations, comments, imports, Vasuli, import export that you are best in, arithmetic operators, right? Then equality, relational operators, logical operators, control force if else, while do while for, list, set, maps, functions, arrow syntax, anonymous functions, classes, object constructions, exceptions. I will tell you in a short, like since it's a very short session, I cannot tell you everything about exceptions. Futures, very important thing. Just to tell you all of that, what is future? Future is our future is no, it's not that. Sorry. Yeah. So futures is something like that. When you enter something, right? You are entering your username. You are entering your password, right? After you enter your username and password, then there is something. It is shown that authenticating. Please wait. Authenticating. Please wait. So there should be something, right? That will show that acha authenticate हो रहा है ठीक है I am waiting. So how are you showing this? You are showing this through this thing called futures, where you are making the user wait for 2 to 4 seconds, and then you will show the result. Because when you are performing that app, the app is performing backend, and he is just verifying whether the username and password is correct or not. If it is correct, then it will let you in after 2 seconds. If it is not correct, they will show password did not match or username did not match. Right? This is the main thing. So just let's just hop into this thing first. And okay, so yeah, I've made a whole sheet, just like a cheat sheet, you can say, not a cheat sheet, but yeah, a formula sheet for everything. And I will share to you at the end of the video, at the end of this session. So I will share this thing with you. So just enjoy this for your friends. This is actually the beginning of the funny thing, right? So yeah, let me just focus my camera. Yeah. Okay, so let's just move along to something known as VS Code. Let me share my window. Yeah. Can all of you see my screen? Anyone can all of you see my console as well as the VS Code screen? Just say a hands up or say a hands up. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's just move along to the VS Code. Okay. You can see my console as well as. So the first thing which I talked about is print. Very easy. What is printing? To print something to the console, right? Okay. Let's just change this. So yeah, printing. What is printing? Now you have to print something to the console. You will use this thing to print, right? And just removing the comments, and so let us. So what you use? We use the function known as print. PRIN, just no simple print, nothing else. Just print. Just make sure that there's a double quotation mark to wherever the if you are printing your name or something like that, there should be enclosed in a double quotation mark, and there should be a you know uh, semicolon at the end. So what are you printing? Well, you are printing hello world as usual. Let's see. Okay. If you are coming from Java, so it is system.out.println in Java. If you are coming from C, which you will learn in this second sem of yours, because I am just guessing most of you are in 1-2 or 2-1 or 2 or 2-2 maybe 2. I don't know. Yeah. So this thing you will learn that printf. We use printf in C, system.out.println in Java, console.log also in JavaScript. So yeah, this is the same thing, same function. So let's just print to the console. Okay, if you can see in the console, it prints hello world, right? So just to print anything to the console, if I write my name, okay, if I write my name and let's say Mayuk Jana, if I want to print it, let's see what happens. Yeah, it prints the same thing. So if you want to print anything, use the print function, right? So yeah, let's just move along. Variables. Just close. Let me close this. I will share with you the entire VS Code file. You just get a revision of everything and anything you want. Right? Variables. Okay. Variables. We declare it. There are two types through which you can declare a variable. Number one is the implicit type, and number two is explicit type. What is explicit type? Explicit type is something where you mention the data type. That this is a variable X and this is of the integer type. You're mentioning it's integer. It should be nothing else. It's an integer. So if you are mentioning that it's an integer, so it becomes explicitly typed, right? So let me just print it again. Yeah, and the x equals to 2. Print x. Let's print x. So it should print 2. Okay. Yeah. In the next part. See, here in this int x equal to x is an integer, right? We are mentioning x is an integer. So we are using this keyword known as int. Int means integer. Obviously, it will not mean anything else. It will be integer only. Right. So the next part, which is var. So var p, no, now let's look in this line that var p equals to 5. Here also we are declaring something. We are declaring a variable. Okay, here also declaring variable, but we are not mentioning. The program doesn't know whether it is a integer or something else. That it may be a fraction also. I don't know. But the thing is, when I compile this entire thing and assign it to a value 5, it is an integer. Now, if in the next line I do something, that's okay. Let's just print this p. See whether it's coming right or not. Yeah. Print. I have only dollar p. I will come to this dollar part later. So print. I have only dollar p, which means I have only rupees 5 because I want to print 5, right? I want to print 5. So yeah, I have only rupees 5. Now the thing is, let's just change p to 5.2. Okay, p equals to var p equals to 5. Now I am saying change it to 5.2. Let us see whether it happens or not. See, error. Let's just give an A. Okay. You should have one error only. Yeah, error. What is the error? A value of type double can't be assigned to a value of variable in, which means that after I compile, p now has the data type int. If you can see int p type int, right? So if we want to reassign it to something else, like a double or something else, like a fractional part. If you introduce a fractional part to 5, it will say it's an error. No, 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 it can't be 5.2. It will be 5. 5.2. What is 5.2? Nothing is 5.2. So, but we need this, right? When you, what is a variable? A variable is something which is unknown. That is a variable. You don't know whether the variable is a double or something like that. So, but I want to print 12 if the answer is 12, and I want to print 12.5 if the answer is 12.5. I don't want to print 12.0, because if you want to, if you print a double, you will not get 12. You will get 12.0 because you will get an integer, right? So what do you use? What do you use now? Let's see. Use something known as, okay. So we use, okay, there's a chat or something. Uh, where have you declared P as int? Okay, I have not declared P as int. After compiling, it knows that after the equal, you know what is the equal operator? That is, I will come to operators also. Equals, that thing is an operator, it's an assignment operator, which means it assigns P to 5. What is 5? 5 is an integer. So when you are compiling it, it's already getting the 5, and it's now the data type of P is integer, so we can't change it, right? So okay, so okay, Mohit will answer you in the chat. So yeah, let me just continue with it. So how to deal with this problem? There's a very good solution with it. The solution is dynamic, right? So what we do is we declare a variable not by int, not by var, by dynamic. So the variable can take on any type, any type. If you want to change it in the middle, like dynamic z equals to 8. Now, not 8. Now I want cool. Now I want a string. So z equals to cool. Now let's print z, right? Let's print z. I only know $z. So let's print z. I only know cool. That's the thing. So that's the beauty of that, right? That's the beauty of that. So whenever you don't know that what is the type of the variable you want to change in between, you use the keyword dynamic before your variable, for declaring your variable, right? Okay, so let's move along. Final and constant. There are, okay. So the thing is, when you're writing a program and it's very, very long, it's very long. So it may happen that inside the program, you are just like, you are using the same variable twice, or you and you have changed the value of the variable, but that is a constant. Just like, say, company's monthly June's data of 2023. Okay, that will not change throughout the process, right? That will not change. But if you change it with something else, then that's a big problem, and then you have to debug it to that extent where you have to find the error in the entire code, where it's where do I have made the error. So to prevent that, so that something which remains constant cannot be, so that it remains constant, we use the final keyword, right? Final email flutter@gmail.com. So let's just print this final, and let me tell you the difference. I have already told you. So yeah, print final email flutter@gmail.com. Print wow email. So what does it print? It print wow flutter@gmail.com as usual. Now let's see final email. Here also we are not saying that email is a integer data type or something else. But if you just hover around it, let's just hover around it, you just find this thing. I don't know whether you can see this or not. String email type string, because I have already, when you are compiling it, is getting this value. Since so it is same as var, not as dynamic. It is same as var, because you are when you are compiling it, it is getting the type inference occurs, right? Already, it is the beauty of that type inference. So yeah, let's go to this thing. Final string email p @gmail.com and print wow email p. Okay, so it should print the same thing. but there is a difference between the two, right? There's a difference between the two. What's the difference? Yes, the difference is here I am mentioning it that email should be of string data type, right? And here I am not mentioning it. That's only the difference. There is nothing else. In both the cases, it cannot be reassigned. Okay. Okay. So there is another thing called constant. Okay. Now constant is something which is a compile time constant. Means it remains constant at the time when the code is compiled. So there is a difference between a compile time constant and a runtime constant. Okay. Because compile time constant remains constant, right? It will remain, it will give you the same value each time it is compiled, each time. Maybe I have changed the parameters, maybe you have changed something else like x equal to 2, y equals to 5 for this time. Next for the next time you have, when you have compiled, you have changed it to 5 and 10. The compile time constant is when it will have the same value each time the application is run, and runtime constant is it may change every time. Anytime. Data type. Okay. So data type for integer, which is referred to by this thing, by this keyword known as int. If you want to declare a variable which is of integer data type, you have to mention int before declaring it. So int age equals to 20. Okay, and this is the range. There is nothing to worry about it. Double height for floating point or decimal point numbers. Whenever you have different point, you will use the keyword double. Okay, so let's just print this entire thing to get sure of what happens. Just print. I know only 20 and 1.5. Okay, so just let me tell you just a short thing about the dollar sign. If you want to print any variable right inside a string, what you do is I know you just write the entire string, and wherever you want to change that, where you want to insert that variable, you just put a dollar sign behind it and just. So if I want to print, I know only right, what I will do, I know only $age, $height. That's it, nothing else. Num. What is num? This is a special thing. So it's not in Java. It's in Dart only. So yeah, what num does is x can have both int and double values in num. So what you will do is just print this, print x. Let's just print x first. Let's get the value of x. See 1. It's not 1.0 or something like that. It's 1. Simply 1. But if I put a double here, it will show 1.0. Let's just remove the num and say double. Yes, see, it's 1.0. Okay. So what I said, when I want that it should be, I want it can be integer and double. I don't know. Okay. When I add the double to it, it will show that value. Like if I add, let's say if I add 2.5 to it, so let's just uncheck this whole thing. And let's say let's correct the indentation. So yeah, there's something I'm missing. Oh, I have just now got to change that. So see, first it printed an int, which is, see, if you hover around, it's an int. It printed 1, right? And now I've added a double to it, of a real number to it. So now it's printing 3.5. So that's the beauty of now. That if your marks is 12, it will show 12. not 12.0. And if my marks is 25.5 or 5555555, it will show me 25.55555. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing, which is string. If you want to declare a string, okay, if you want to declare string, we use something known as the keyword, which is string. Simple. And the best part of string is, see, there is a double quotation mark. Okay, when you are declaring a string. Now there are two. Now you have a choice. You can put a double quotation mark, or you can put a single quotation mark. Anything you can put, right? So let's just try out. Let's just bring this. Okay. Okay, so this is a simple thing. It's the same thing we are printing a name. So you will not print like you will not print with the double quotation mark. Remember that. It will print in Nicola only. Okay. So yeah. Now next comes the Boolean data type. So Boolean follows the computer logic 0 1 0 1. Boolean means otherwise if it is true, it is 1. If it is false, it's 0. Okay. Simple. Very simple. Okay. Yeah. So see this line. Can use single or double quotes for string data type, which I have said right now. Yeah. So yeah. So see, where first name equals Nicola with we are using a var. Okay, we are using a var here. Wait. We are using a var here. So first Nicola is under single quotation marks, and now we have used double quotation marks for Tesla. Both means the same thing. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay. So yeah, if you want to just print a string together, you can embed variables in string with the dollar sign, just like print. If you want to print it, this if you want to print this to string beside, you would have done this only, right? Now the same thing we do is if you want to just put that thing inside another string, like if you want to put my first name and my last name inside a string which is called full name. So what you do is dollar first name, which I have declared, which is now the string data type. You just hold around it. We just say string first name type string. So it's although it's var, but it says it is of the type string, right? So yeah, and dollar last name. If you want to print the full name, let's just print the full name now. Nikola Tesla. Okay. Uh, let's just hide it. Let's just move around with the next part, which is concatenation. Concatenation means adding. If you want to add two strings, like if you want to add it, if you want to add apart from doing like that, like string dollar first name, dollar last name, I can just add this two strings and then add a space in between and just make a whole new string. Yes, I can do that in just like in any other in Java as well. Quite similar to Java. You can do string concatenation. So what you will do is like this. Add name for my first string Albert and my second string Einstein. Albert Einstein. So it should print Albert Einstein. Yeah. Okay. So now you will learn more about this in your Dart documentation. I will share with you the Dart documentation because everything cannot be taught in one class, right? So yeah, so let's just move ahead. There are more to this, let me tell you, and there are more functions in string which you can use, right? So one of the function is string dot uppercase, string uppercase, two uppercase, two lowercase. These are the functions where if you just hover around this, you can just see it's not coming right now. So what happens is first name dot two uppercase. What happens? We have our first name, right? Where is our first name? Yeah, this is our first name. We have unchecked. Let me uncheck this. Okay, so Nicola. So what is the we are telling the program that in the check the first name, take the first name and change it to uppercase. So each letter in Nicola should be A to uppercase. What happens is we follow the ASCII code of system. What is ASCII? ASCII, the entire ASCII character set where 65 to 90 is capital A to capital Z, and 97 to 122 is small a to small z. Then I guess 38 to 57, 0 to 9. No. I forgot that. Yeah, 0 to 9 was something like that. And yeah, this is the whole set of ASCII, right? 38 to 47 maybe. The ASCII characters of 0 to 9. So yeah, what happens is if you enter a see this Nicola's N is in capital letters, so it will take the first letter and will check. Acha, it is in uppercase. Yes, it is in uppercase. Kuch nahi karega. I. It is in uppercase. No. If it is not in uppercase, it will convert it to uppercase, and its ASCII value will also change. From if say capital A is there 65, it will change to 97. 66 to 98, something like that. So the whole thing changes to uppercase. So we will get something in uppercase. So the whole thing will be Nicola, capital Nicola. So yeah, let's check this out. Nicola. Everything is in capitals. That doesn't mean that we cannot add any capital letter. We have to add all small letters. That does not mean. The function checks and returns the value that each and every character should be in uppercase. Same with lowercase also, if we just change the upper to lower, same thing, right? Okay. Now let's, everything in here is, you can see that I have commented it out. So what are comments? This is a normal comment, which is, double hash and multi-line comments, okay, for slash start and then ending it with another star and a slash. Okay, forward slash double slash. So yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't know how to zoom this. Does anyone know how to zoom this? Let me check. Okay. Is it necessary to zoom? Can anyone report? Okay. It's control plus. Okay. Let's check this out first. Control plus. Yeah, thanks. Now I guess it's better. Okay. It's 1955. Okay, so import export. Vasuli. Now, what we do is most of the time it happens that there are many libraries which are already built in, like the math library, which is already built in inside Dart, inside many other programming languages, and you just use it. Okay, if you want 2 to the power 4, we use a library, use the math library and use a function in the math library, which is called how. Okay, so that is in Java. So just giving you a gist of it. So so what we do is importing code libraries and then use it in my functions, use it in my program, so that we don't have to write the entire thing again. The thing is, the power is you are just multiplying the same term in a for loop, in a loop. If you are getting 2 to the power 4 means 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So I don't want to do this. Like in my program will look like a bacha. if I do this, it will look childish. That's why we import libraries. There are many libraries which makes our life easier, and just a one-line code. And even there are many libraries that are, see, if I am a developer and I have a library and I have made a package, okay, you can just, and I have made something. Let's say, just give an example. Let me just give you an example of a website. Right, a website has someone has built a sign up page. So you want to build a sign up page. There you have two options. Number one, you can just write the entire code for the sign up page, or you can use the code which was already written by him or her, and you can use that inside your code. It's copy paste, right? This is the kind of thing we do shortcut, okay, for importing. So let's just check the syntax of it first, right? Import dart.mat. If you want to import the mat library, what you do is dart colon the library name. Okay, so that's the thing with it. If you want to import external packages, use this package, then package name, path the file path. Okay, that's the thing. This is the file name written by someone else or written by you also. Nothing else, nothing matters. If you want to import that and use that in your program, we use this. Okay, so okay, let's just close this data types. Comments we have done, imports we have done. Let's just move to arithmetic operators. Very simple. Yes. 2 plus 3, what it should print? Both are integers, what it should print? 2 plus 3, 5. 2 minus 3, what it should print? Minus 1. 2 into 3 by the asterisk operator. Okay, these are operators, plus, minus, into, divide. This I will come in 2 minutes. This is the remainder operator, which returns the remainder modulus operator. So 5 mod 2 gives you 1 as a remainder, because 5 by 2 is 2 points something, and the remainder is 1, right? So let's just run it and get the answer. 5, 2 plus 3, 5, 2 minus 3 minus 1, 2 into 3, 6, by 5 by 2, 2.5, result is a double. Now the thing is, you are dividing 5 by 2. Okay. Now let's, if any one of you know Java, then I tell you that 5 by 2, and if you are storing it somewhere in an integer, it will return 2. Like it will not return 2.5. But here you can see 5 by 2 returns 2.5. Result is a double. But I want 2. So what do you use? We use this operator. Okay. What is this? This is a some other operator. If you truncating division operator, what it does, it is just written here. You can just read. Performs truncating division of this number. Truncating division is a division where a fractional result is converted to an integer by rounding it towards 0. Okay. So it's rounds 5 by 2 is 2.5, and it just rounds it to the nearest 0, which is 2. Okay. So for that reason, we get a result as an integer 2, not 2.0. So the next thing is modulus operator 5 mod 2. Every one of us know that it returns remainder. Okay. So yeah, let's say let's just assign some variable for our future use. Now int a equals to 1, and let's just don't give a value to b, but we know that b is a that variable. We have initialized we have declared the variable but not initialized it. What is the meaning of declaration and initialization? Declaration means you are declaring a variable. Okay. Initialization means we are giving a value to the variable, initial value to the variable. And okay, someone jumps up normally, or does it not? I guess Netra will answer the question to you. Okay. So yeah, let's just carry on. B equals to A plus plus print $B $A. What is plus plus A? Plus plus A is, which I call it in a very easy way, is change then use, which means change A then use, which means plus plus a, what it does, let me tell you, it increments the value of a by 1. It increments the value of a by 1. So b equals to 1. No, b equals to 2. And what is the value of a now? A's value is also 2. So now let me check. So what happens in b plus plus a? Changing a, then using. What is changing a? Changing a means a is changed from 1 to 2. Now the value of a is not 1, it's 2. Now changing the value of b, assigning the value b to the changed value of a, not the previous value of a, right? So now b's value is also 2 and a's value is also 2. Let's just print the whole thing out. Okay. So you will not understand this thing until and unless I'm doing the next set of operations, which is post increment. This is called pre-increment. Why it is called pre-increment? Because you are incrementing before performing, before using it. Okay. So b equal to a plus plus, looking very similar, right? This also increments a by 1. This also increments a by 1. तब क्या होगा? अब difference क्या है? Same ही तो है. No. But the thing is, this increments a after using it. Means b will first take the value of a and then a will decide, अच्छा b ने a ले लिया, b ने अब मैं मेरा value change करूँगा. Okay. So it is use then change. Simple, very simple thing. Pre-increment, change then use. Post-increment, change, use then change. Okay. So let's just visualize it once more. A is and b. Okay. B equals to plus plus a. So first a will increase its value by 1. So 1 to 2. So print 2, right? And what should be the value of b? We will now take the value, the changed value of a, which is 2. So I got 2, right? Now what is the current value of b? 2. Current value of a? 2. Now let's just move ahead. B equals to a plus plus, which means b will first take now. B will first take the value of a. What is the value of a? 2, right? But a will then increment its thing. A will increment its value by 1. So a will be now 3. So what we should get? B equals to 3 and a equals to 2. Let's just print it. Okay, see, yeah, the second line, b equals to 2, equals to 3. Okay, this is the thing. Change then use then change, nothing else. Okay, let's move on to the next set of operations, which is decrement operations. But there is nothing to show actually in decrement, right? I'm checking it because we have less time. Okay, what is in decrement? Same thing, pre-decrement. Change then use. Post decrement, पहले use करो फिर change करो. Okay. पहले इस्तेमाल करो फिर विश्वास करो. Same, similar thing. Yeah. So okay, just move along with our second part, operators. We have already mentioned operators before. You have done arithmetic operators, plus, minus, division, into, the not and slash, that operator. We have done to round up the value. Okay, num operator. So yeah, so now we will do equality operators, relational operators, as well as logical operators together. So yeah, what are equality operators? Let's just uncheck each and every one of them. This is, you know, what's the difference between a single equal to and a double equal to? A single equal to is an assignment operator. It assigns something to something. A value, it assigns a value to a variable. Let's say int a equals to 2, which means a has the value 2 right now. Now coming to the next thing is double equal to. What is double equal to? Double equal to is not an assignment operator. It checks. It's a logic. What does it check? It checks whether the left hand side is equal to the right hand side or not. If the left hand side equal to the right hand side, it will return true. It will it returns Boolean values. Okay, so it will either return true or it return false. Nothing will not return true. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, anything else. It will return either true or false. So let's just print 2. Now is 2 equal to 2? Yes, so it should print true. Is 2 not equal to 3? Yes, 2 is not obviously not equal to 3. Is 3 greater than 2? Yes, true. If 2 less than 3? Yes. 3 less greater than equal to 3? Yes. 2 less than equal to 3? This is also yes. So the word this the last thing we just change to 2 greater than equal to 3 so that it comes false. Okay, it should not come 3. Okay, so let's just check the entire thing. True, 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 and then last things sadly. Okay, let me change this because you will now. I will send this entire sheet to you, so you just get confused. Okay. Where is the console? Yeah. Okay, we have done imports, imports, we have done arithmetic operators, we have done this. Okay, so now comes the logical operators. Logical or, logical and. There are many such operators. Logical or, logical and. Uh, Boolean, Boolean we have done. Returns true or false. So let's just take this thing. Okay. Now, what is the difference between and an OR operator? And operator means, as you know, you have done gates, right? You know that both the conditions should be true, then it will return a true. If both the condition is not true, it will not return true. 1, 1, then 1. 1, 0, then 0. 0, 1, then also 0. 0, 0, then obviously 0. But what is the difference? What is OR? OR is, or will check, अच्छा, एक कंडीशन ट्रू है, ओके हाँ ट्रू है, सेकंड कंडीशन ट्रू है, अरे नहीं सेकंड कंडीशन ट्रू नहीं है, अब क्या करें? तो द थिंग इज or does or checks for the if any one of the conditions are true or will execute the statements. So let us check this thing. All right. Bool is out of stock is false. Int quantity equals to 3. See, there is a not. If you can see, I don't know whether you can see or not. There is a not operator in front of is out of stock, which means is out of stock is false. Not of false is what is not of false. See this line. It changes false to true and vice versa. If it is true, then it will become false. Not operator. So not is out of stock is true. Okay, the first statement is true. Then we have an ampersand and then. So it means both the condition to be should be true so that my great job is printed. So it checks quantity equal to 2 or quantity equal to 3. If quantity equal to 2, अच्छा quantity equal to 2, अरे नहीं तो quantity तो 3 है, 2 नहीं है, अब क्या करें? Now this statement is false. Now it checks for this statement. If it is true, if it is false, then the whole thing becomes false and this whole thing occurs. The great job is not printed. So is quantity equal to 3? Yes, quantity is equal to 3. So let's just print this entire thing. Okay. Let us see this. Great job is printed, which means that both the conditions is true because inside this we have been given a bracket, right? So if one of the condition is true, this whole condition is true. This whole condition is true and not is out of stock is also true. True and true. It will go in the next step and it will print great job. So yeah, I will come to the if statement later. So let's just close this and check this out. uh, control flow. Yeah. So now we are coming to the main thing of the in a programming language, which is a very structural and backbone of a programming language. Control flow. Why it is called control flow? Because the control is flow of control. Because it is in your hands how, like it is in the user's hands how the things will point out. If the age is, let's just uncheck this, uncomment this thing, and then int age equals to 20. So the variable age has now the value 20. If age is less than 18, then it will print teen, right? Else if age lies between 18 and then age lies between 16. Again, and then comes, which means both the systems should be true. So it is just like when you use 18 less than age less than 16. Okay. That thing only in the in this world. So yeah. Print adult, else print old. If these two statements is not satisfied, which means age is obviously greater than 60, or maybe age someone has done some extreme calculations and found out that age is -2, then also they will print old, because both the conditions, see, no, it will print teen. Sorry, age is less than 18, right? -2 is less than 18, so obviously it will print teen. So it will not go to old. Yeah, so let's just print this entire thing out. Let's just see how this control flow works. Since age is 20, it first goes to this line. Age, if age less than 18. No, age is not less than 18, age is the 20. So it will not go into the brackets and will not print the word teen. So now it goes to a second statement, which is else if, and checks whether age is greater than 18 or less than 60. Is age greater than 18? Yes, this statement is true. First true I have got. Now I have to get this one also true. Otherwise, I won't get this entire statement true, right? Is age less than equal to 60? Yes, age is less than equal to 60. So the thing is, age greater than 18 and age is less than 60. So it will go inside the curly brackets and will print adult, right? If I do this, if I change this to 85, what it should print? It should print old, right? Old, as usual, as expected. So yeah, this is the if-else control statement. If you have only two conditions, only this and this, you can use if and then else. If you have more than two conditions, okay, we use something called if else, right? Now the thing comes, if you have 10 conditions, right? Less than 18, less than 20, less than 22, less than 24, less than 26, less than 25, 29, 20, 32, 35. अभी ये कैसे होगा? Else, and now then writing the entire statements is very tiring, right? So what we do is we use something known as a switch case in this case. Let's just comment this entire thing out. Okay. So let's go to switch case. This logical operators, if else, yeah. Okay, so control flow switch case. So let me just first uncheck this entire thing so that we can just use this in our code. Okay, let me tell you, when you are commenting something, you can use in Windows, you can use control plus K plus C to comment out anything, any part of the code. If you want to comment it out, that you don't need it now, you will need it later. So you can just comment it out. Control plus K plus C. I'm not a Mac user, but I think it is command plus K plus C in Mac. So the same thing works there also. So let's just analyze the entire syntax. Int a equals to 5, a has the value 5, a is a variable of type int, b has the value 0. Now we are switching b, right? We're switching b, means we are checking the value of b. Yeah. Now case 0. 0 is what? 0 is b. You are checking for the value of b, right? Now, on F5, then you have a default case. And if these two cases does not occur, then the default case will occur. Okay. So value of b is 0, right? So first it will go inside the switch case and we'll check acha whether the value of b is 0 or not. Acha, is it 0? It is not 0. Or is it 0? Arey, no, it's 0. It's 0. Then what will do? It will print my pet is dog and then it will break. Break means it will break from the entire switch case system and will go out of this curly bracket. Okay. So first, now if I change the value of b to 5, let's say, so first let's execute with 0. My pet is dog because it goes to checks the case 0 and here. So it will print my pet is dog and then it will break and will end the switch case. So it will not go here or it not will go here. Otherwise, we would have got the entire thing. My pet is dog, my pet is cat, I don't have a pet. Everything. I don't want that, right? So yeah, let's just go and change the value of b to 5. It is compiled. Now my pet is cat because it goes to the case first case and sees whether the value of b is 0 or not. But it finds that no, value of b is not 0. So it will not go inside this case. It will otherwise go inside this case. It will print case 5. When it checks the value, acha, whether the value is 5 or not. Acha, value to 5 here. Then it will go inside this and will print whatever it is inside the bracket. So my pet is a cat. So now what we will do is we'll change this to 20. Right? And we'll change this to 20. And let's just print this. Now I have changed b to 20. First it goes to case 0. Couldn't find anything because the value of b is not 0. Goes to case 5. Value of b is not 5. So what is भाई किसी तो कोई केस भी नहीं मिला, क्या होगा? It will go to default case. Okay. तो default case में क्या होता है? It's just like the else statement, right? Else statement मतलब कुछ if else if कुछ नहीं हुआ, then it will go to else statement. Similarly, here we have a default statement which says print I don't have a pet, which I get in the console. Okay. So control plus k plus c, control plus k plus c for commenting things out, control plus k plus u for uncommenting things. Okay. You want to uncomment things, control plus k plus u. You want to comment things, control plus k plus c. Okay. So let's move along to the next thing. Control flow loops. We will just move ahead very fast with this loop system. So while dreams is not achieved, okay, let me just uncheck this first, otherwise you won't be able to see. Okay, so this is a motivational while loop which says until this is dreams achieved, which means dreams has been achieved, but there is a not operator, which means dreams not achieved. So while dreams not achieved, this is how you read the statement in front of someone. While dreams not achieved, work hard. So this loop will continuously work until and unless dreams is achieved. Okay. So while dreams are not achieved, work hard. When dreams will be achieved, this while loop will end. This while loop will end, and it will just come up out of the while loop that is here. The cursor will come here. Okay. So now let me tell you a difference. Okay, there is another thing which is called do while loop. Do while loop also does the same thing like while loop. It will check while dreams is not achieved, work hard. But there's a difference between while loop and do while loop. What is that? While loop is called an entry control loop. What is an entry control loop? Entry control loop means get पे entry के लिए pass लगेगा. Okay, what is that pass? Pass is that condition. If the condition is not satisfied, while loop के अंदर घुसेगा भी नहीं. It will not go inside while loop. Okay, but do while loop is different. Do while loop is exit control loop. What happens is it first does the thing. पहले कर लूँगा, फिर payment करूँगा. First I will. So the thing is, First, I will work hard. Then it goes and checks whether dreams is achieved or not. So it can happen that while loop may not execute even once. If this statement is not satisfied, it may, like if you have already achieved the dream, then this state, then the while loop will not execute even once. But do while loop will always execute at least once, because it will obviously, even if the dreams have been achieved, right? Even then also you will work hard at least one time. Okay, that's the thing with do while and do while loop. Let's just quickly move ahead with the syntax of for loop, one of the most favorite loops ever existed, right? For loop. Now what happens in for loop? There are three parts in which for loop exists. Number one, is this part, right? This part is the initialization part. Now what happens in the initialization part? It initializes a variable, which is the the number of times you will iterate something. You have to mention, right? I want this loop to iterate 10 times. So you have a variable, which is the iteration variable, which is just set to initialized to 0. So this is the initialization part. This is the part where you check whether the variable is in limit or not. If instead of you know 10, if I say I less than 1, okay. Instead of this, if I say I less than 10, so like this. For int I equals to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. It checks whether i's current value is in range or not. See, I want to iterate this loop at least 10 times, only 10 times. So I will say it runs from 0. So it will run from 0 to 9, right? It will run from 0 to 9. So it will run 10 times. So and this is the increment part. So each time for loop is executed, I gets incremented to one step ahead, like from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Okay, so what happens is for the first time, it checks, it does not go to the increment part. For the first time when it goes inside the loop, it checks, acha, I is equal to 0. Okay, I less than 10. Yes, 0 is less than 10. So it prints, it goes inside the loop for loop and prints, acha, print guy. Then what will it do? Go to this part, which is I plus plus. It will increment the I, and then it will check, acha, now I is less than 10 or not. I plus plus means I equal to I is now 1. I by 1. I is 1. Sorry. So I is 1. Now you are checking whether I is less than 10 or not. 1 is less than 10. Yes, it will go and again inside the loop. Print I. Print 1. Like that, it will go along until and unless the last iteration when I is 10, it will check, acha, whether I is less than 10. No. I thought 10 ke bahar ho gaya. So what will it do? It will print 0 to 9. There is some error, I guess. Okay, there is a, okay, I did not check. There is an extra. Let me check whether everything is right or not. Yeah. Okay, let's just print this. Okay. Okay. So you can see it prints 0 to 9, one after the other. So yeah, that is just the thing. Now there is another concept of for in loop. I am just giving you the sheet, and I will give extra info as well, and I will just learn it from there. What is for in loops? If you have done Python, you will find this like similar to Python. Okay, so what you do in Python is for x in range. It's kind of that thing. So yeah, let me just close this thing. Okay, and we just move ahead with our list. Okay. This will be, I guess, we have 1 hour 30 minutes now. So this will be the second last topic for today, and then we'll come back on third with the same topic. Okay, because the entire I thought the entire dart should be completed today, but yeah, it couldn't be completed. So okay. So what are lists? If you have done any other programming languages, if you may have noticed something known as arrays. We just group many variables uh, uh, into a single group. Okay, which is in order. So what we do is, if all fruits are to be kept in a single basket, so what does a list do? We take a basket, we put bananas, then orange, everything inside one single loop, right? This is the thing. We are grouping many variables, many numbers, many strings, many anything, many strings, anything it can be. So we're grouping it into a single entity, and you are naming it as a list. So if since this list contains numbers, we can just name it numbers. Okay, and there are many functions to a list.length, anything. But let me tell you, the most important thing about list is index. So index numbers, which means if you want to get this one out of this whole list, like or oranges out of a basket, let's say a fruit basket, fruits, and if you want to get oranges out of this basket, what will you do? Here, check the position, which is it starts from 0, not 1. So 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so if you want to get 1, so you will say list square bracket 0, which will print 1. If you want to get 2, so this is the first index, this is the 0th index, this is the first index, third index, the position number or the address, you can say, of that element inside the list. Address inside the list is given by your index. So yeah, this is the list. We have less time, so just wrapping things up. These are cities. If you want to declare string in strings, it will create the same thing. Constant and sets. Sets are the sets. There are. It's in a list. It is ordered, but sets unordered. कुछ भी हो सकता है list के अंदर. You don't know whether the basket has fruits or not. Like you want to put my name, then you want to put your CGPA and anything. Okay, you want to put many other things, right? So that happens here. So that is sets. Let's go to maps. So map is a very important thing, and I guess we'll just do it tomorrow, not today. The day after tomorrow, on March 3rd. Just so let's just go to our main thing, I mean channel. Let me just stop present and let's just present. Let's just present something else. The tab. Okay, this all of these things should be done. Due to less time, I have to wrap it up. Okay, we'll just do. So next session is on March 3rd. Stay tuned for that session. And remember one thing, that Flutter is all about widgets. Okay, what is widgets? Widgets are the building blocks. Just like you need bricks for a building, we need uh, widgets. Someone has asked me that difference between I++ and I+. I++ means you are incrementing it by 1, right? And what is I+? There is nothing called I+. You have to say I+1. If I equals to I+1 and I++, both means the same thing. But when you are assigning I++ to another variable, say B, so you are using that concept. Change then use then change. Post increment, pre increment. That's a type of operator. Okay. So thank you very much for joining. And GDSC is a great club to join in, and we do projects together. We hop into many other Google activities. You get many, special material from Google, and we will have your induction process after a few months. But whenever you will have, just make sure that you know your niche and you know why you want to join the club, and hopefully all of us, uh, we'll work together on a great project. We'll roam around. There are many events like GDSC Wow, which is being held right now in New Delhi. If you know or not, I don't know. But yeah, so what happens is many developers from across the country, that from across many cities, go there enjoy the scenario there, make projects. There's a kind of hackathon, win something, win vouchers, swags, many other things which you might like, which you might get to show off, all directly from Google, not third-party things, right? And just enjoy being here. There are many verticals, ML, machine learning vertical as well, app dev vertical as well. There had not there still now till now there is a lack of web dev vertical here, but we will try to introduce that in the next session for all of you. And there are many other spawns. If you want, you are a marketing type of guy or a girl, just go to spawns and bring some get sponsorship for us. Build your resume, build your CV with this. This is the building block of Flutter. This is how it is made. Today you have learned the basics, mostly the basics, and there is more to it actually. There's something called futures. I I have told during the beginning of the session that there is something known as futures. So what are futures? Futures is that thing when your username password is given and it is shown authenticating. Please wait. It is like it's like a buffer. This is like this thing buffer. So it's authenticating. Please wait. So what happens is this in this future, in this time, in this moment of time, what the in the backend what the program does is it fetches data, it checks whether what you have entered is right or not, and it then gets back to you. Okay, this the same thing happens, and for that time we require some time, right? Back in the server requires time to check everything to send data back. Okay, so that thing happens to futures. Very great application in of this. You will find it. I can show you this thing. This is a very interesting thing. Last thing I want to show here. So let's just check futures, live future. Okay. Window. Let me just go to. Okay. Let me just go to enums futures.dart. All of you can see my future screen, right? I hope you can see. And let me just uncheck it. Okay. So what this future function does is it will print this string called large latte. It will print it after 2 seconds with a delay of 2 seconds, right? So let's just print and let's just see whether all of you are getting it or not. And after 2 seconds only, first it will print fetching user order, and then after 2 seconds it will print large latte. Okay, so let's just see whether you can get to fetching user order. Wait for 2 seconds. Large latte. This is the kind of future. Now, if you want to increase it to 4 seconds, 10 seconds, if I increase it to 4 seconds, just wait for 4 seconds. Then just wait for 4 seconds. Fetching user order 1, 2, 3, and now 4. Okay, so you get a large latte. This is what happens in our future. Very interesting thing to learn, and I will be teaching you next day this thing, the same thing. So please make sure you come and RSVP to mark your attendance. RSVP is very important. Even though you are watching this on YouTube or you are coming to the meet, please register yourself that you are present. It helps us during your inductions as well, because more participation that you will show, it will make us feel that you are more interested in us, more interested in GDSA, and that's what Google looks forward to every year whenever they select a lead or whenever they select anyone else. So that's the thing. Thank you very much for coming today, and stay happy, stay safe, keep learning. Thank you very much.